PLC. Now, people still hear that dull color tune when they call you. Really? Are you for real? Come on, man. MTN wants you to know that you can still bring some life to your color ringback tone with some of your favorite music. If you enjoy high life, hip hop, hip life, or gospel, then all you have to do is to dial star 1355 hash to choose from a wide range of music options, and that's it. Everyone who calls you gets to listen and dance to your favorite music too. Get a dope color ringback tone today and enjoy life only on MTN. Dear salaried workers, may I have your attention? Look, I'm excited to tell you that you don't need to wait for payday to get paid. You can get paid any day with the Access Bank Payday loan offering by simply dialing star 901 star 11 hash right now. Star 901 star 11 hash. With this unique offer, you can access up to 40% of your net monthly salary before payday to solve pressing needs and still have enough to enjoy on payday. This offer is open to all salaried workers. So if you want to enjoy this and more, switch your salary account to Access Bank today and get paid any day. Remember, it's simple. Just dial star 901 star 11 hash and get your loan in 60 seconds. No documentation required. With Access Bank, any day can be payday. Remember that T's and C's apply. For more information, kindly call toll-free number 0800 004400 or visit our social media or website. Access Bank, more than banking. Now it's a Wednesday. I'm really casting my mind back to Monday when we had the health and wellness series right here, on Joy 99.7 FM with Dr. Yao Safo, CEO of Medicas Hospital. Now we're back to what we originally do on Wednesdays. So I'm going to have a conversation with Dr. Yao Osafo, who is already on the line with me. And today we're going to be talking about breastfeeding. Hello, Doc. Hello, Dr. Osafo.
Hi, Kofi.
Yes. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much. Today I can see you on the homatrofo.
Yes, I'm on Zoom. And Doctor is too tired from the exertions of last Monday when we had the maiden edition of the Health and Wellness series. It was a great event.
I know.
3 expert speakers, wonderful delivery and in-depth discussions about 3 important subjects. So, yes, today I'm joining via Zoom, and I'll be in the studio next week, definitely. Kofi, I hope you listened in and you found the topic very exciting.
Well, yes, I did. And, I actually put up a story on my journal line about the whole event, and I was actually confused on what to report on because I learned a lot, I must say. So thanks to you and kudos to you and the team.
About, yeah. Sure. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity. Joy FM.
Right, and today we're talking about breastfeeding. I know that the first week of August each year is celebrated as World Breastfeeding Week, and so today you want to educate us on breastfeeding. What are we getting into today?
Right. Good afternoon to all our listeners, and it's a pleasure to come your way again another Wednesday afternoon. Kofi, you absolutely nailed it. This week is a very important a week on the health calendar globally. It is World Breastfeeding Week. And when it comes to breastfeeding, Kofi, there is no argument about its benefits. But unfortunately, we've had to set this week aside to draw a lot of attention globally to the overwhelming benefits of breastfeeding and some of the dangers of promoting so-called breast milk substitutes to children and to parents all over the world. So today, if time permits, otherwise we'll do a part 2 next week, we're going to spend some time to talk about breastfeeding. Kofi, I want to start by asking a question, and I want people to send in their responses, and we'll read them towards the end of the show. The male infant versus the female infant, which one takes the breast more? So people should send us their answers.
Doc, please,
I
Doc, I
wish.
beg you, please ask that question again. Me, I didn't get it very well. I'm pretty sure a number of
So
us also
the
didn't get it.
male, the male infants. Let's use Philip Nye as the prototype. The male infant.
Thank you.
When Philip was a baby.
Thank you very
versus
much.
the female infants. Which one of them takes the breast more? And I think all mothers should send us answers to this particular question. We'll read the answers at the end of the show. So, Kofi, let me start by sharing some key facts about breastfeeding. Number one, only 41% of infants globally under 6 months of age are exclusively breastfed. No, the recommendation is that exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life. And if we look at the data, only 41% of infants are exclusively breastfed. Number two, globally, 3 in 5 children are not breastfed in the first hour of life. Again, another recommendation under the Baby Friendly initiative requires that children are newborns are put to the breast as soon as possible. And definitely we don't want the first hour to pass before breastfeeding is initiated. And only 3 in 5 children attain this in the first hour. Again, 820,000 children could be saved yearly if all children between day 1 and the first 23 months were optimally breastfed. That is between the day you're born and your second birthday. If you follow the breastfeeding recommendations, then every year we could save about 820,000 children. And this is a huge, huge number of deaths that occur as a result of the recommendations regarding breastfeeding not being optimized in most countries. So these are some of the key facts I wanted to share. Now for today, Kofi, I want us to focus on the benefits of breastfeeding. As I mentioned earlier, there is no argument, there is no debate about the benefits of breastfeeding. So many studies have been carried out over the years, and even human existence proves the fact that breastfeeding is absolutely critical. So the first point or benefit I want to talk about is safety. Kofi, breast milk is safe. It is as safe as it gets. So I want people to cast their mind back when we talk about safety to a huge incident that occurred in China, but then was reverberated around the world because there was the 2008 milk scandal where a major factory that produced what we call a breast milk substitute, or what people would know commonly as formula milk, unfortunately got a chemical substance called melamine contaminating the milk product, and this led to severe kidney dysfunction in infants that were fed with that milk. It was a major health scandal, not only in China, but because they're a major exporter to all around the world. Infants and newborns came down with kidney problems, particularly kidney stones. I think this year there was a similar challenge with a factory in the United States that led to a closure and subsequent shortage of formula feed in the United States. So when it comes to breast milk, because of its location, because of its on-demand production, it is absolutely safe. It is prepared by the mother's body in the right proportion. All the ingredients in there, all the nutrients in there are in their right proportions just for the newborn. So there is no issue about safety. Again, when we talk about safety, if you compare it to the breast milk substitutes, then the breast milk substitutes have prepared. There are always instructions about preparing, and you're going to prepare the milk with water. Kofi, how many households, especially in developing countries across the world, how many homes have access to clean or potable water? Very, very few.
That's it.
I mean, access to clean water is very, 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 very difficult. Was it this week I read a story about even the so-called pure water that we market in our part of the world, the sachet water, and the possibility of contaminants in there. So the pure water may not be that pure. You're going to need water to be able to reconstitute a lot of these formula feeds. If you talk about buying, bottled water and all of that, then you take these things out of the reach of a lot of women and a lot of households. So in terms of its safety, breast milk is right up there. It has no peers. Number two, the second benefit is that breast milk contains antibodies which help to protect the newborn against many childhood diseases, particularly diarrheal diseases. So the number that I threw up there earlier on, the 820,000 children that are lost globally every year, we believe a large proportion of these children succumb to diarrheal diseases as a result of the lack of antibodies that they do not have because they have not been breastfed. But if you remember that the newborn is now going to develop, is now going to grow. So that newborn's immune system is very, very naive. It is poorly developed, and therefore it is unable to fight on its own. It still needs to rely on the mother, and that reliance comes in the form of breast milk that is fed to that child. Number three, breast milk provides all the energy, and I need to emphasize this, all the energy, because time and again, I hear some mothers or parents come to me and complain that, Doctor, well, just give the breastfeed more often, breastfeed longer. But in terms of the energy requirement, in terms of the nutrient mix for the infant, then breast milk contains all of the energy and all of the nutrients that the infant needs for the first months of life. And it continues to provide up to half or more of that amount of the child's nutritional needs during the second half of even the first year of life. And that is why we say for the first 6 months. Beyond 6 months, then the nutritional requirements of that growing infant is such that you need what we call complementary feeding. You need to start providing other meals to supplement the breastfeeding and not to substitute it. So again, the right proportions. Sometimes if you give too much of the nutrients, the child's liver also cannot handle it. And therefore you don't want too many nutrients for that unit. So it is important that breast milk is provided in the first 6 months, because in terms of proportions of the nutrients, then it contains all the nutrients in the right proportions.
So, Doc, let me get clarification on this, please. So you're saying that even with the breast milk, the natural breast milk, it should be proportional.
Exactly. So sometimes when we say, the breast milk substitutes contain a lot of protein. No, you don't want a lot of any particular nutrient in the breast that you are giving to that child, because that newborn is now developing, and therefore it can only handle nutrients if they are in their right proportions. And that is the advantage of breast milk, that it will contain all the energy and all the nutrients in their right proportions for that newborn. Kofi, now this is a very stunning point that I came across, that breastfed children perform better on intelligence tests.
Hey,
yes.
You don't say.
Absolutely. So the standard IQ test, so those who, I'm sorry, I don't know about, is Philip there? I want to know what
Yes, Philip is here.
Because, Philip's was his course. So if there was some D and E, that means he didn't get enough breast milk. So if you want to join the science and maths quiz teams, you want your child to join the science and maths quiz teams, then please pump the child with a lot of breast milk, because it has been shown that it stimulates brain development, especially in those early years of life, and the children grow up becoming more intelligent compared to children that are not breastfed. So, I mean, you're not paying for this. This one is not extra classes. This is not sending your child to some international school. This is just giving the child breast milk. Another important benefit is that breastfed infants are less likely to be overweight. I think a month or two ago, I was on a Super Morning show, and the discussion was on childhood obesity. And this is the next pandemic. Childhood obesity is an epidemic in most countries at the moment, in most regions of the world, including Ghana. I've come across a 12-year-old that weighed 75 kilograms,
Wow.
which is terrible, which is a terrible weight to have, 75 kilograms at 12 years. So, Kofi, we're noticing that children who are breastfed are less likely to be overweight, less likely to be obese. Again, they are less prone to the development of diabetes mellitus. I'm sure most people know about diabetes, the so-called sugar disease. And even if you have a positive family history, we see the data shows that children who are breastfed then are less prone to developing diabetes mellitus later in life, even if they have significant family history. So the health benefits of sticking to the breastfeeding recommendations are immense. But we're not only talking about the infant. Kofi, women who breastfeed cancer, they also have a reduced risk of developing ovarian cancer, cancer of the ovaries. I mean, these are immense benefits. Currently, we believe that as many as 22,000 deaths from breast cancer are prevented because women are breastfeeding at the current breastfeeding rate. The estimate is that 20,000 deaths from breast cancer are prevented. We believe that if we optimize the breastfeeding rates now, we can double this prevention rate to about 40,000 deaths. And Kofi, this is a huge number globally. Imagine we can save 40,000 women from breast cancer just because we encourage those women to breastfeed.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Their newborns. And the impact that this has on society, the impact that this has on families, and the positive impact this would have on national health systems is just immense. So, Kofi, these are all the reasons why a woman and a family should encourage breastfeeding. The benefits are unparalleled. Now, let me make or say a few words before our time runs out about why promoting breast milk substitutes is not ideal, except it becomes absolutely necessary. So we do, in some situations, would have to substitute breast milk because the woman is either not producing breast milk, or sometimes the woman is undergoing therapy for something that will find its way into the breast milk and will be dangerous, to the newborn. So your healthcare professional or doctor will take that decision and help you with that decision. But other than that, then these are some of the challenges with promoting breast milk substitutes. Infant formula or formula feed is not a sterile product. And I've alluded to the 2008 scandal or incident that happened with a factory in China where the breast milk was contaminated with melamine, a chemical that led to severe kidney problems for the infants. So infant formula is not a sterile product and can carry germs that can also cause fatal diarrheal diseases. Number two, infant formula is expensive compared to breast milk. You don't have to pay for breast milk. Infant formula is expensive and out of the reach of many globally. We're not talking about the upper middle class, and we're not talking only to the upper class. But if you look at the global picture, then it is out of the reach of a lot of people, and it will impoverish a lot of families. Again, it requires clean water to prepare, most of them. And many communities globally lack potable water or access to clean water. And therefore, if we promote these things, then it makes it very, very difficult for a lot of people. So people will use water, any water that they come across, the so-called pure water, which ends up not being so pure, and use it to prepare. And then we see an increase in diarrheal diseases in infants. And a lot of newborns die when they experience diarrhea in the first year of life. It also requires the mother or the caregiver to be literate in order to read and comply with the mixing instructions that come with the formula feeding. And the literacy levels, especially if you take the global picture in women of the reproductive age, is not what we want it to be. So again, that then becomes a big challenge if you keep on pushing formula feeding. Lastly, it requires a minimum standard of overall household hygiene, a factor that is not readily met in many households across the world. So for all these reasons and for all these challenges, we should not promote breast milk substitutes or infant formula as the primary choice, but rather reserve them for those special circumstances that prevent the mother from producing breast milk or prevent the mother from being able to feed the newborn with breast milk.
Very interesting, and this has actually been an eye-opener. Thank you very much, Dr. Safo. There are a number of things that I noted down, especially with the key facts, and I just want to reiterate them to our listeners and anyone that just joined. You're saying that only 41% of infants under 6 months of age are exclusively breastfed. Over 820,000 children could be saved yearly if all children 0 to 23 months were optimally breastfed, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's one thing that is striking that says nearly 2 out of 3 infants are not exclusively breastfed for the recommended 6 months, a rate that has not been improved in the last 2 decades. And I'm pretty sure this is also as a result of the quick-paced life that we are living right now, because it looks like a lot of mothers would have to return to work.
Kofi.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
The socioeconomic circumstances have changed. Women find themselves in the workplace, and also there's almost this elitist mentality that if you have it, then you should then provide formula feeding, as if it is breastfeeding is for people of a low class social standard, and that is very, very wrong. And no matter how well educated you are as a woman, we would strongly encourage that you breastfeed. But I agree that a fast-paced life, the women having to work, so we would encourage all employers to also make the workplace, if it's possible, for women to maybe even have periods where their newborns can come in, breastfeed, and then take them back. Some workplaces have nurseries, for example. So we have to start thinking about being progressive going into the 21st century, because breastfeeding has immense benefits.
Okay. So, Doc, I think we have to continue next week. Yeah.
We are going to continue next week. And next week, I'm going to share the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding.
Okay.
And that will be next week.
All right. Doc, please put your number out.
Right. So for those who have questions and want to get assistance with breastfeeding, the number is 0501 477 340. I take that again, 0501 477 340.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Yao Safo. We've been in a conversation with Dr. Yao Safo, CEO of Medicas Hospital, and we've been talking about breastfeeding. We're going to continue the conversation